Oh no, he's gonna go buy keys. That's right. He's got money, so he can immediately go buy keys and just he can take everything. He can take it all right now. This is awesome.
That certainly saves things on here as those keys being purchased. And, well, the Alan taking a different approach and going right into the treasury, so we'll be able to see right off the bat what is in there, which is a torch and some big bucks. We've got the cursed belt and some more money. Meanwhile, HighSpirits already in the basement in Tanagel Castle and finding a droll who is smacking him down and taking him out.
Those were some big punches to the face there. I think potentially a little bit of a misplay from TheAlanHeffley here because he used that key, grabbed all that money, and then went and saved. So if he wants to get his key back, he would have to reset. He does not actually have any keys now anymore.
Oh, goodness. Now, for those unfamiliar with Dragon Warrior, I know there's a lot going on in a very short period of time here, but our racers are looking to find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord. Now, to do that, they will have to access the Dragon Lord's Charlotte Castle, and in order to get into that castle, they'll need to create a bridge via an item called the Rainbow Drop. And there are 3 essential items that are needed to obtain that Rainbow Drop, and those are the Stones of Sunlight, the Staff of Rain, and Erdrick's Token. Our players will be searching for these items, all while fighting enemies one at a time to help gain experience and levels, as well as to help get stronger, as well as to purchase gold, or get gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest. And, one thing that won't help in their quest is a golem with Dragon Lord Breath, attacking for anywhere from 64 to 72 hit points of damage.
Yeah, not a lot of fun there. It does look to me like HighSpirits is making the play of trying to see if you can find a town or anything, because so far not having any luck finding that one weak monster out there. Looked like he only needed about 42 experience to get that first level, so as long as he can find that one weak monster, it should be able to get that first level here pretty quickly, but gotta find it first.
Well, along with that otherwise basic entity of things, well, this is Dragon Warrior Randomizer, so that means that things have to be shaken up in some ways, quite a few ways, shapes, and forms. What is randomized? Well, the map, as you can see, is randomized, as are the locations of the towns and caves, the contents of the weapon and armor shops once our racers find a town, also the treasure chest contents, as well as the search spot contents are all randomized. The spells that they learn, as we see that the wolf has Dragon Lord Breath as well.
Shoutouts to TK Wizard in the chat dropping the Beggy Rama, the Japanese name for Hurtmore, dropping the knowledge in chat.
I had a hunch that you would have picked up on that a lot more so than I would have, Lavkin. I know that you're a big runner of the Japanese versions of Dragon Quest, at least 1, 2, and 3 from what I've seen.
I haven't picked up 2 yet. 2 is a brutal game, but yeah, I do run 1 and 3 on occasion. I'm really hoping, as these players kind of, TheAlanHeffley finding a town here, and Alan, wandering into the town of Garenham. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have a lot of money or keys as we take a look at this item shop here. Copper sword, bamboo pole, a steal at 5,000 gold. A steal.
Not really. Considering it normally costs, I believe, 10 gold in the game, 572 times the price. That must be some gold encrusted. And, well, TheAlanHeffley looks like resetting.
Bamboo pole imported directly from China. Yes, exactly.
They don't make them like they used to.
Ooh, Pyrolite dropping the Medante, also known as Mega Magic in Dragon Warrior 7.
I'll admit that one's definitely a little over my head, but I'm sure I've had a few obscure references that I've thrown out there as well. So this is the evening out of that. So the HighSpirits, after making, he was able to reset, get back the 1,900 gold that he had, and that allowed him to purchase the large shield, as well as that 2 gold copper sword, which certainly is a steal, and getting some rather expensive clothes as well.
We got a modest hero in this seed today. Nothing's too expensive for him. Got to cover up.
And picking up the dragon scale also. Now, as you may have noticed, the enemy locations are randomized here in the game, and that's standard for Dragon Warrior Randomizer, but here's where the twist comes in, the things that you wouldn't expect, the things that make this the Chaos version. The weapon and armor prices, as you've seen, are randomized, as are the enemy statistics. Hit points, strength, agility, experience, and gold all are randomized. As you can see, a wizard with baby dragon breath, something you definitely wouldn't see in the standard game. Also, as we get a little bit further, well, the second form of the Dragon Lord, once they get to that boss, normally has between 150 and 165 hit points. In this game, it could be as low as 100 or as high as 230 hit points.
Yeah, didn't we see that last night? Like 228 hit point Dragon Lord 2? That was brutal. I think that was in Angry Larry and Azrael Ravenheart.
You are spot on with that, Lavkin. And the Dragon Lord 2 can also cast either heal or sleep. Pretty much the only things that aren't randomized are the layouts of the towns and caves, as well as the item shop contents and prices. And I caught the tail end of that. Is that, yes, okay, the HighSpirits finding the town of Rimmildar, where you can buy more keys. So his early risk, not necessarily damaging in this case.
Yeah, I'm getting a little worried now that, for those who don't know, so in Chaos mode, because enemy stats are randomized, there is one consideration taken in to Chaos mode, which is that there's guaranteed either next to Tantagel Castle or in the zone north, south, east, or west. In one of those 5 areas, there's going to be a monster that has 5 or less hit points and does very, very little damage. And as we watch, as we crest the 8-minute mark, and no one's gotten a kill yet, I'm getting a little worried that weak monster might be up in that swamp. That would be extra gross, I think.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that we have had a seed where there's been a significant amount of swamp in an area, and HighSpirits falling to a slime attacking for 7. But I mentioned in the beginning that this is a battle of I guess, experience versus versus eager youth. This is the tournament debut here for the HighSpirits, as it's the first Dragon War, well, at least in terms of Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournaments. Meanwhile, HighSpirits competing back in 2016 and 2017 in the standard randomizer. This is actually his 12th tournament match, previously going 7-4, including top 7 finishes in both of those tournaments.
Yeah, HighSpirits is an incredibly strong competitor. We did ask some of our runners to tell us a little bit about themselves, and TheAlanHeffley giving us a little bit of notes that he also runs Zelda 2 Randomizer. That's his main game, as well as Zelda 1, Link to the Past, and Mario 3. He says pretty much if it's randomized, he'll play it. So while he is new to Dragon Warrior Randomizer, he's not new to randomizers in general.
Most certainly. And HighSpirits now getting into Garanham and having those keys is now able to take a look at what is behind them. And we've got some more money, an empty chest, and more money. So it looks like an herb and cash flowing aplenty.
That's right. TheAlanHeffley. Forgive me.
And behind Garanham, we have the Staff of Rain Cave. And that is where our runners will be able to acquire the Staff of Rain once they trade in the searchable Silver Harp. which is in a treasure chest somewhere here throughout the lands. And, ooh, very pricey weapons with the exception of a club. And HighSpirits is going to go with that.
I would definitely be eyeballing walk in and out of Tantagel Gold Grind for that flame sword. I think that was about 1,800. That's a pretty good deal.
And the fighter's ring inside of Rimmeldar in the double locked doors. That adds 2 attack points to your total, or it increases your attack power by 2 once you put on the fighter's ring. Similarly, the dragon scale adds 2 to your defense total.
Yeah, Pyrelight noting that burning some keys in Garanham would do the same thing. Yeah, either are options here. If our runners want to pick up that flame sword, it's going to be making a pretty big difference as they're both still trying to look for that first kill.
Oof. However, falling almost in stereo to a red dragon and a Drakey are HighSpirits and TheAlanHeffley. You see in chat the references to Fun Police. Now, in the standard Dragon Warrior and Dragon Warrior Randomizer game, the Red Dragon is known colloquially as the Fun Police because usually when they show up, it's not going to be a good time. And that's because they are among the top 3 most difficult enemies in the game. The only enemy stronger than the Red Dragon is that second form of the Dragon Lord, that Dragon Lord 2 that you'll hear throughout the course of the race tonight. And they're also one of the most agile with 90 agility points. However, here in Dragon Warrior Randomizer, well, that's pretty much all thrown out the window. And as you can see here, Star Wyvern's attacking for a lot. Slime's casting Hurt more. And along the way, I missed. TheAlanHeffley was able to take out an enemy, but only getting 4 experience on it.
Yeah, TheAlanHeffley got a critical hit on a ghost and was able to take it out. And the ghost was not doing very much damage to him. So it looks like the ghost is going to be our weak enemy here. We'll see if HighSpirits can do better with his club. So far, not having the best luck here.
Oh, that does look to be a bit of a slap fight, but wow, if that ends up being the case, and the ghost ends up being that enemy, oh man, you're looking at 11 ghosts to be able to get to the next level.
I would assume, question chat, what build is Powie? I would assume that it's Strength HP, because that's the most popular build for running in these randomizers, but I actually don't know.
I just ran a check. That is a Strength HP build.
Yeah, the game only actually checks the first 4 letters of your name in terms of your stats, so any letter that you add after the first 4 doesn't matter, which makes it easy to check pretty much any name that you want.
Fortunately, I have a link to the website right here that in my notes here that helps pull that information up should it be needed. So it's special thanks to guides.gamercorner.net for that.
Yeah, I would definitely be eyeballing that flame sword now, because I think both runners kind of can pick up on the fact this ghost is one of the only enemies that's not instantly killing them, so probably would be a good idea at this point. Oh, there we go, and there's HighSpirits taking one down with 9 damage. But again, I think it would be a really, really good idea to pick up some money and go get that flame sword.
And we have found our third enemy here in this seed that has that Dragon Lord 2 breath, the Poltergeist, joining the Golem and Wolf.
Looks like HighSpirits is doing just that. He went and grabbed some money, walked in and out, grabbing some more money. I think he's got more than he needs for the flame sword. I'm not sure what else exactly he wants here, but it looks like he's going to go save, and then he's going to go take his walk here.
Well, from what I could recall, and I know that there were a couple of different shops between Garenham and Rimeldar, but perhaps along with that flame sword, that HighSpirits may have seen a marginally decent piece of armor.
It's possible. Tracker shows he already has the large shield, and we know TheAlanHeffley bought the clothes earlier. I did not notice if there was a better, reasonable option. No, there's also a town. I think TheAlanHeffley just caught a glimpse of the town to the south, but didn't quite make it, so not sure what that town might be. Might have some different options. As HighSpirits, unfortunately, not having a lot of luck getting very far away from Tantagel here.
We're trying to hang on to all that gold to get to the town to purchase one of those stronger weapons and or armor. And the Drakey keeps having none of it.
Zarnax in chat saying, if you can see a path to level 2 in less than 15 minutes, it's actually pretty tame. I'm inclined to agree. It might take a while for them to take down some of those ghosts, but at least you have a goal in mind. You're not just kind of completely bashing your head against an unknown brick wall.
Well, the Droll family causing all kinds of issues for both of our runners here is a Droll Magi taking down HighSpirits just mere steps before the town, and in the cave, which looked to be the Swamp Cave North in the back of Tantagel Castle, the Droll taking out TheAlanHeffley.
The Droll family, by far the worst contestants in Family Feud.
Survey says, lose half your gold. And TheAlanHeffley now running into a metal scorpion as HighSpirits figuring, all right, this is, I don't know, okay, he's not even bothering to deal with this ghost who's not letting him get away.
I think HighSpirits, I'm just going to go ahead and make a little admission here. HighSpirits might regret asking me to roll the seed.
Oh, man.
Just going to drop that secret here for y'all in chat. Yeah, this is rough. The races that I've commentated so far, usually we're seeing our first... Well, actually, no, we've seen our first kill. We've gotten a few kills under our belts already, and it's just unfortunate that ghost only gives 4 experience. Actually, exactly the same as what they give in Super Famicom version, in case anybody wants to drop a meme at McGrew over there.
And yes, in the standard Dragon Warrior randomizer, also giving 4 experience is the Ghost. But at least gives a little bit more gold than the 8 that's in the standard randomizer. So it's kind of randomish. Although I'm sure some will say not. Oh, yeah, even McGrew is saying not random enough, and he's the one who created this doggone thing.
Yup. McGrew knows what's up.
HighSpirits, meanwhile, continuing that trek to the south and west, able to escape a metal scorpion just about 4 steps away. And another Droll Magi who attacks a snipe attack. Is he able to get away? No, and it looks like the reset button getting hit again.
Oh my goodness. I can say I would... Yes, what Zarnak said aside, the fact that... Flamesword's 3,300. Okay, that's why he was going up that high.
$4,000, yep. Yeah,
I thought it was about 1,300, but it's all right.
That looks to be the leather armor that was the 13 something, 1342, I believe, or somewhere thereabouts.
Oh my goodness, these Droll Magi are just... They aren't having it. They're not having it.
Well, the TheAlanHeffley looking to now go to the south and a little bit east, perhaps to see what else there might be here. And the Star Wyvern says nope. Taking a page from Ted Knight in Caddyshack and saying, "You'll get nothing and like it."
HighSpirits choosing this time to contend with this ghost. See if maybe he can score a lucky crit, which is pretty much seems to be what you need in order to kill this thing.
But the drawback is, with level 2 being a total of 41 experience away, and these ghosts only giving 4 experience per kill, I mean, are we going to be waiting for essentially the race to who kills 11 ghosts first?
Yeah, unless one of them wants to buy a bunch of herbs and try walking around in the swamp up there, because I think McGrew maybe can confirm. I think between the 5 zones, you could have up to 3 or 4 low HP enemies. I don't think it has to just be the one.
Well, we have a question in chat here for Almacia. Normally, yes. Normally, level 2 is 7 experience, but the amount of experience to each level in Chaos Edition is randomized. So you could have something where here it's 41 to one level, and then you could have 7 experience to the next level, and then you could have 238 to the next level, and the next one could be a couple of thousand. I mean, it is completely shaken up. Now, it is balanced that you have you have some levels that are easier earlier on, so that way it's not you get to level 2 and then all of a sudden it's another few thousand to get to level 3. But once you get into the level 8, 9, 10, and up, it can be and has been upwards. I've seen upwards of 5,000 or 6,000 experience to get from one level to the next.
TheAlanHeffley's done it! TheAlanHeffley grabbing 4 levels for himself. Oh, wow. Bingo.
So at the 23.5 mark, it looks like the Green Dragon was the ticket to go from level 1 to level 4. Now we can see what it'll take to get to level 5. 564.
But he gained about 22 strength on that. I didn't see exactly how much damage that Green Dragon took, but I would definitely be trying to farm those if I were TheAlanHeffley.
Well, now it's a matter of finding them, but oof. Running into a golem. Meanwhile, HighSpirits still continuing to try to get over to the town to pick up the flame sword.
Angry Larry dropping the correction for me. TheAlanHeffley from the University of Kentucky.
And HighSpirits perhaps abandoning that idea and is now back to farming around Tanagel Castle.
Yeah, it looks like he did give up on trying to get that flame sword. That's unfortunate. I mean, both of our runners made it to that. They made it to that town when they had the money and were able to see that there was a weapon there. But you know, trying to get there with any intent apparently The RNG can smell intense, and not having any of that.
And now HighSpirits back to getting into a slap fight. Oh, well, the excellent move, able to get another 4 experience. So HighSpirits just under halfway to level 2. And meanwhile, TheAlanHeffley finding Cantlin, which has 3 different shops available. So this is essentially the Mall of Alfgard.
Yeah, 3 chances to look for a really cheap silver shield or full plate armor. I don't think we've seen either of those yet. And there we go. There it is. Called it. Silver shield for 10 gold. That's going to give another 10 defense to TheAlanHeffley. Make him much more confident wandering around this randomized world map.
And talk about making out on the deal. So he ended up getting a pretty decent refund on the large shield before it. So it ended up giving him another 300 gold to perhaps buy something else. $10 gold for the silver shield. Normally in the standard version of the game, it is 14,800 gold. So I'm pretty sure that is the Jim Perry sale of the century of this seed.
No kidding. TheAlanHeffley momentarily declining to check the third weapon shop behind the key door, and also not going to talk to the old man to see if there might be something on the world map. I'm not sure. I would assume he's carrying some herbs, but he might not feel confident to walk through that barrier, those barrier tiles there.
Or perhaps looking to explore the not 1 but 2 caves that are right by Cantlin.
First cave we walk into is yeah, tablet, yeah. So we're gonna get a free look at 1 treasure chest here.
And HighSpirits, meanwhile, doing his best Peter Venkman impression and doing all kinds of ghost busting.
Given the seed, I definitely wouldn't be afraid of no ghosts. Oh, and a free key for your troubles in the tablet cave.
Thank you, Kaiton in chat, cueing the Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters theme, absolutely. #1 hit back in 1984.
So what is that now? 3 more ghosts for HighSpirits to get the level?
Yes. As of course it had to be a grand total of 41 experience, so 2 more ghosts will not do it. I'll put him 1 short.
Looks like we have Garenham's Grave, Garen's Grave for TheAlanHeffley, so 3 free chests here on this first floor, and then the choice of to dive or not to dive, as they do have keys.
It's amazing with the early access to Rimeldar, and I mean the plethora of towns. You would think that there'd be a little bit more advancement, but it's just been really tough to get off the ground as far as finding a slaughterable enemy.
Did we see Garenham basement? I know, I feel like HighSpirits went back there for the chest, but I don't know if he went downstairs.
But he did. It was the Staff of Rain cave.
Okay.
And neither of them have the silver harp. They couldn't really do anything with it as of yet. And TheAlanHeffley going toe-to-toe with this Wraith, or at least trying to hot-foot it away from this Wraith.
Yeah, it looks like this wraith might be one of the walls of the seed. Not sure exactly what HighSpirits' agility is right now, but this thing giving him a lot of trouble. Yeah, he's not doing any damage to it, and he can't get away. This thing's got to have quite a bit of agility. And the Kaishin no Ichigeki out of HighSpirits still does not get rid of it.
Oh, and he runs away just to get into another encounter with a wraith.
Oh, and he got away again! Oh, Green Dragon on HighSpirits side, and HighSpirits might be able to make that same jump a few levels. It looks like those Green Dragons cast Stop Spell, and that's part of the reason why HighSpirits was able to get one earlier. They do not hit very hard, and they have hurt. Oh, but we got some herbs over on HighSpirits side, so let's see if he can do this here.
Although, how frustrated will HighSpirits be? Now taking down the Green Dragon, getting 156 experience, having gone through all that work and killing 10 ghosts just to be able to go from level 1 to level 4, and no spells.
Personally, I would be happy to have just made some progress. 31 minutes in, you know, at least you're somewhere. You're not level 1 anymore.
And TheAlanHeffley, meanwhile, is going to be sent back to start thanks to a golem. Right at the same time, the slime casts Hurt More and puts HighSpirits back to the castle.
And actually, you know, what with those ghosts? I mean, TheAlanHeffley obviously taking the time to explore, which HighSpirits is going to have to do eventually himself, but HighSpirits having a little bit of an experience lead that pretty much comes down to those ghosts that he was killing. Pyrolite also mentioning in chat that now might be a good time for HighSpirits to try and go for that sword again.
JLo7, our restreamer here, mentioning in chat that we didn't see the expression on HighSpirits' face, but that apparently when he got that dragon kill, the expression was epic.
I believe it. It would have been epic on my side, too. TheAlanHeffley triggering a gold grind glitch here after dying in Garen's grave. He's picked up enough treasure chests and opened everything in the right order such that the game doesn't know where to put this last treasure chest, so he can open it up as much as he wants. And not sure exactly what it is that he's going for here, seeing as how he already has the silver shield, but I assume he's going to stop at some point and maybe trek over to Garenham and pick up Rimuldar and pick up that flame sword.
And in the hustle and bustle back and forth, I'd missed what the chests were in the top of Garen's grave that led to the gold grind that you see here. And for those wondering how this is all able to go, well, chests tend to respawn. Well, yeah, chests respawn every time you go to the overworld map, but due to programming limits at the time the game was made, the game only tracks up to 8 chests as opened, quote-unquote. Every chest opened beyond the 8th chest can be taken over and over again, as you saw TheAlanHeffley do there. And typically it's done by taking at least 2 chests from a cave, death warping back to Tanagel Castle, as 3 chests are marked as taken when you enter the throne room, so that way you don't take the opening chests more than once. And then, as they did there, they'll go to the Castle Treasury in the hopes that by the 9th chest, they can continuously take at least 500 gold over and over again. And this is where they're going to use it to try to get some very powerful equipment, in this case, weapons and armor, because he already has the strongest shield in the game for the whopping low price of 10 gold.
Yeah, TheAlanHeffley, even dying here, I don't think he saved before he walked out. But even dying here, he should have enough money. Or no, he does reset.
He did.
Here.
He saved.
Oh, I see.
He's still got his 20,318. He went and whammy-proofed himself.
That's good. Because also, I don't believe TheAlanHeffley checked that 3rd shop his first time, so maybe with all of this money that he's grinded himself, now he's going to go do that.
Oof, and now it's the TheAlanHeffley who is doing the quest to the town constant reset on death strat that HighSpirits was struggling with earlier here in this race. And Slime's looking to extract revenge from all these many years where they have been the cupcake of Dragon Warrior and Dragon Quest, just hurt-mooring across the board.
And TheAlanHeffley does make it to Cantland, so now he's going to be able to spend all his money any way he wants. And yeah, Flame Sword and Magic Armor for about 10k total. Maybe not the deal of the century, but definitely less than normal.
Yeah, they're both the best weapon and armor that money can buy, as the only ones that are better are Erdrick's Sword and Erdrick's Armor, and both of those have to be found. Erdrick's Sword in a chest and Erdrick's Armor in one of 3 different search spots, either on the overworld or inside of the town of Cole or inside the town of Hawksnest.
Yeah, Simple Sarah pointing out that TheAlanHeffley does have a pretty big lead now. Maybe not in experience just yet, but considering his gear and the amount of exploration he's done, because HighSpirits hasn't been in either of these caves yet, to my knowledge. Yeah, he's got himself a pretty big lead, and if he can start finding some monsters that he can kill here, maybe try to find those green dragons again, he can kick this seed into high gear real quick.
Yeah, everybody noting that the wolves are rather mean, and from what we've seen here in the early going, as the TheAlanHeffley finds that out as well. Not that he hasn't already known, because we've seen it a few times here, but so far 3 enemies that we've seen in this seed that, yeah, Smashy notes in chat. There's Dragonlord 2 Breath everywhere that still ruins your day, as the Golem, the Wolf, and the Poltergeist all have that DL2 Breath that'll strike you for between 64 and 72 hit points at a clip, and right out the castle and right back into a wolf that's going to roast you back to start.
2 back-to-back pick-off Dragonlord 2 breaths. This is what we call a 0-player game here. You don't even get to press buttons. Just put down your controller and just listen to that wonderful death music.
And Smashy noting in chat, I must have missed it. Apparently Metal Scorpions also have DL2 Breath.
Yeah, HighSpirits ran into quite a few of those when he was trying to make it to that Flame Sword.
You know what it is? I blinked and I think he hit reset at the time, and I didn't even see. I guess once you just saw Metal Scorpion is breathing. Once you got to the in breathing fire, the reset button was already hit by HighSpirits, so it happened so quick that I didn't see it. And up to NG noting in chat that HighSpirits might be looking for another one of those green dragons that were worth 156 experience that vaulted both of our players from level 1 to level 4. But apart from one of those kills and a few ghost kills, in this case HighSpirits with a few more than the TheAlanHeffley, that is where the experience differential is, and it's only a 32 experience differential just because HighSpirits killed 8 more ghosts than the TheAlanHeffley did.
And a little bit of brutal luck on the side of HighSpirits as well. He was engaged in battle with a Magidraki and did manage to get a critical hit, but only 19 damage, not enough to take it down.
Well, chat, certainly a gallant effort on your part to keep track of the deaths that are here, as that they're setting up a COD counter, and for the moment they have it at 50, and At this point, that may be an underestimate.
I would say that COD counter is simply on HighSpirits' side, if anything.
And the COD count. Oh, Game Boy F9.
Game Boy F9, you don't have celestial weapons yet. You can't do that.
And I agree with the Seawolf 1. Math is hard.
Seawolf 1 with the jokes. More CODs than the GameStop bargain bin. I like it. I approve. Oh, and now we've officially crested 1 million CODs. Looks like HighSpirits has decided to go back to his quest for the Flame Sword here.
Flame Sword strats.
Unfortunately, unbeknownst to him, AlanHeffley's had the Flame Sword for a while, and it hasn't done jack fill in the blank for him.
Hasn't done Jackamus for him. How about that?
I like it. I approve.
Jackamus, another one of our runners here in this tournament, one of the 22 competitors here in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Chaos Tournament. As we've got a little bit of a hiccup in the action, the tournament going to be going on over the course of the next 6.5 weeks. It started this past Wednesday. For the next 3 weeks, you will see Swiss round matches, or Swiss-style round matches, 3 rounds. And after that time frame, those with a record of 2-1 or better will move on to the bracket stage of the tournament, which will be a single elimination style of various things like this. And already over the course of the last few days, I mean, we've seen seeds that have gone roughly an hour. We've seen one seed that has gone in excess of 3 hours. And we've seen difficult Dragon Lord fights. We have seen monsters with skills that you wouldn't otherwise expect. We've seen beefy monsters that would normally be wet noodles, as they're eloquently known here, and a little bit of everything in between. And Z-Man noting in chat thinks that Seawolf and or Jackamus had something to do with it.
HighSpirits did it! He did it! He finally made
got
it!
into Rimmaldar.
He was 2 steps away and ran into a rogue scorpion, and I was crushed. I really thought that he was going to be denied once more, but no. With 2 HP remaining, he does get away from that rogue scorpion and now has his flame sword.
The Flame Sword, the second strongest weapon in the game. It adds 28 attack points to your total. Your attack plus whatever your base strength is, that's what your weapon plus your base, your base strength, that is what determines your attack points.
Oh, TheAlanHeffley finally getting himself another green dragon, and it does not level him up. One thing I haven't even paid attention to. Oh, what is it? 500 experience to the next level? That's right. We saw that a while ago, didn't we?
Yeah, since the one. So it's going to be somewhere in the low 700s, maybe 720, 730, something like that.
Looks like while I was paying attention to HighSpirits walk, AlanHeffley's picked up a couple of those green dragons for himself and made significant progress toward that next level.
And now able to beat a slime for 82.
Yeah, Ryu Session noting that 45 minutes in and they're still in level 4, but the path to level 5 is within sight, at least for AlanHeffley.
Yeah, it looks like a grand total of 728 experience to get to level 5. So at this point, HighSpirits, as noted, has quite a ways to go, as well, both of them do, as they both fall to a respective wolf and slime. And now just 244 for the TheAlanHeffley, so that's only 2 more green dragons. Or 61 ghosts.
Question in chat from AutoShy. TheAlanHeffley is wearing the magic armor, which I believe is 24 defense, second best in the game. Gives you 1 HP every 4 steps, and also reduces damage from hurt and hurt more spells.
And looking in chat, first seat 624. Welcome to checking things out, and boy is this a great introduction as far as the chaoticness that is the chaos. Well, the chaos version of the game. And bonkers is definitely one way to describe it. It's more troublesome than the normal randomizer, as Ryusation pointing out in chat.
TheAlanHeffley looking to be about 1 kill away, taking out Slime, 720 experience. He should be getting level 5 here. Could be even within his next fight.
Well, at 722, yes, only 6 experience away. So at absolute worst, 2 ghosts. As the green dragon runs away.
Their strength is too low.
And Z-Man noting in chat, next kill he goes from level 5 to level 12. That would sure be something, that's for sure.
Well, we're
gonna find out right now.
We're gonna find out here. Let's see what it is.
Ooh, 16 power, nice response speed, 25 magic points. Oh, he jumped up 2 levels, okay. But still no additional spells. The spells look to be backloaded here, as the 10 spells throughout the game will be learned between levels 1 and 16, but in no particular order.
Yeah, those stats were quite nice. At least the 16 strength is going to make it a lot easier to it might even be at the point where he can one-shot those blue slimes, as he only needs 54 XP. So if you can one-shot blue slimes now before they can try to drop a hurt more on him, he can get that next level here pretty quick.
Well, HighSpirits, meanwhile, has chipped away and is a little more than halfway to level 5, needing a little bit more than 300 experience. And we've learned that Drakies have the spell of sleep and attack for quite a bit. And a note in chat here for Smashy, whenever you gain multiple levels in one kill, even if you acquire a new spell, it will not say, "Thou hast learned a new spell." So if you gain multiple levels, it is definitely good to check, as you may have learned a spell without even realizing it.
I did not actually know that.
Oh, well, I try to throw different tidbits of knowledge out there, and the things that I don't know, I tend to get corrected on. And the TheAlanHeffley trying to open the door, but I guess is informed that he does not have a key to utilize.
Wells JC saying Seed Chooser hit the hidden checkbox that said HS doesn't get to win. I didn't check that box, but I was the one who rolled the seed, and HighSpirits was the one who asked me to, so perhaps it was he wanted to blame someone else on this seed. Perhaps Karma's maybe biting him in the butt on this one.
Well, the TheAlanHeffley getting to level 7 and looks to have the sleep spell.
Sleep spell, very, very underrated in chaos mode, since sleep resistance is randomized. If you find, you're going to have so many enemies like that Wraith that you just can't run from, but if they don't have any sleep resistance, that sleep spell is going to be your best friend.
And it looks like a mere 30 experience to go from level 7 to level 8, as 858 gets you to level 7 and 888 gets you to level 8. Oh, the irony.
HighSpirits trying his luck.
HighSpirits getting sleep and slept. And wow, 233 experience. This should be certainly interesting on the TheAlanHeffley side. Jumping up to 9. And he has hurt more. That is definitely going to open up the seed, as that now gives a chance, even if you can't necessarily strike an enemy for a whole lot of hit points. Well, that hurt more spell, when it hits, that gives you generally around 60 to 65 HP of damage against your enemy.
Yeah, with the acquisition of Hurtmore here, and with this experience like just continuing to grow, you know, you want to talk about youth versus experience here. Maybe beginner's luck playing a big role in this one, making for a very exciting race.
Well, as Game Boy F9 points out in chat, that experience certainly coming into play, as I mean, just with that kill of the Droll now, HighSpirits able to get to level 5 and continuing to build. All it takes is another, I mean, he's only another roughly 115 experience away from hitting that, well, hitting level 8, and then somewhere along the way, level 9 is in the mix, and that's where Hurtmore comes into play.
Yeah, HighSpirits also showing a bit of his experience with Dragon Warrior itself, walking back and forth on these forest tiles, like right in the edge of the zone that he's in. Forest tiles do give you a slightly higher encounter rate than grass tiles, so he wants to get these fights out as soon as possible. Oh, and just a plethora of spells from the TheAlanHeffley here.
Well, over the last minute or two here, the TheAlanHeffley has been able to jump up a few hundred experience and up to level 11 with 1731.
Oh, and he's one-shotting these Drakemon now. This is amazing. Oh yeah, this mountain path, this little valley here is really cool. I've never seen that in Randomizer.
And perhaps those Drakemas, I mean, they give, looks like they give about 230 some odd experience. And I think that was what allowed the TheAlanHeffley to jump up as quickly as had been done.
Oh, HighSpirits does take down a Drakey for 190 experience, and it looks like he's figured out a nice way to make up this experience gap, jumping up to level 9 and getting himself that Hurtmore spell as well.
And this could be where the experience comes into play, as HighSpirits with Hurtmore, knowing a little bit more about the game across the board.
Yeah, within, we waited about 45 minutes here, but within about a 6-minute span, this race just opened wide up, just completely wide up, as TheAlanHeffley looks like he did take down a red dragon. And is continuing to get himself a little bit of experience over here by Rimmildar.
And HighSpirits, meanwhile, going into, I guess some people refer to it as a ghetto gold grind.
Yeah, walking back and forth instead of doing the chest glitch. Yeah, just a kind of slower gold grind, if you will. Yeah, not sure exactly what he wants here. Is he saved with 3,300 gold? Perhaps he hasn't seen specific prices on things, or is misremembering something. I'm not sure exactly what he wants here. I think the magic armor was closer to 5,000, wasn't it?
Oof. Metal Scorpion's only giving 4 experience.
And Wolflord's giving a measly 13. Not a super good return on the magic investment there. Ooh, 116 from the Skeleton. Skeleton looked like quite a pushover, too.
That is certainly a positive sign. HighSpirits replenishing his herbs.
Question in chat from Madcapin. Triple check the flag and seed number, but I don't get the return. And need 200 experience level 2. You may want to check either the version of your randomizer or your Dragon Warrior 1 ROM. Either of those could cause a seed mismatch here, or rather a checksum mismatch. Certain things might look the same, but other things might be a little bit different. So yeah, I would check the version and also make sure you have a clean version of the Dragon Warrior ROM.
So I think we ran into that. Was it? Yeah, you and I had run into that where I'd played a particularly nasty seed, and I'd given you all the information on it, and everything looked to be the same except 2 of the town locations were switched, making it considerably easier for you. Yeah, Garenham and Rimmeldar were switched.
Yeah, Garenham and Rimmeldar were switched because I was playing on 2.0.3 after McGrew had made some changes to prevent a soft lock situation. Yeah, everything else was the same. That was so weird.
Go figure.
Chat noticing that it's a whopping 3,700 experience needed for level 12, causing TheAlanHeffley to really start exploring here. It looks like he's found himself the Swamp Cave and is going to go to the other side, but not before dropping a droll for 131 experience.
And now on what looks to be the other continent, well, the Magiwyvern there to greet TheAlanHeffley.
HighSpirits trying to get his revenge on a Rogue Scorpion, one of the monsters that was really keeping him away from that flame sword for quite a while.
And Hurtmore not quite working out so well, and neither is Sleep. And we can add the Knight to the list of DL2 Breath enemies. That is 5 different ones now.
Oh, and you finally got it, but only 22 experience for his troubles. Wah, wah, wah. TheAlanHeffley doing his due diligence, checking what I believe is the maybe northeast corner of the map and finding a whole lot of nothing. Decides to return and imagine might take a quick trip to an inn and then right back through the swamp cave to check another part of the map.
And HighSpirits quickly going over and checking that mountainous path and not finding the Cave of Roan. Oh no, wait, that's a different game.
It's going to be a little bit hard, seeing as how he's also missing the Eye of Malroth. Actually, fun fact, in the English translation patch for the Super Famicom remakes of Dragon Quest 1 and 2, there's some bugs in the English translation patch, and it is possible to wrong warp from Dragon Quest 2 into Dragon Quest 1.
Huh.
There's a guy who is casually playing through Dragon Quest 2 on Super Famicom on that patch, and yeah, just I believe he went down some stairs in a particular dungeon, and then all of a sudden just ended up in the ocean in Tantagel Dragon Warrior 1, And he actually ended up finishing the game too, which is hilarious to watch.
Silver Harp in the Mountain Cave.
And both players in the Mountain Cave at the same time, despite somewhat divergent paths here. So, yeah, we got a little bit of a spoon action going on.
The virtual high five.
Oh, werewolves pretty easy to take down. Not a whole lot of experience, but, you know, anything that's not going to stand in your way for very long is a welcome sight. Maybe McGrew can confirm, but I think that's 5 gold chests, and aside from the starting gold chest, I think we found all the big money on the map here. No big money in Charlock. Simple Sarah, actually, to make a funny glitch even funnier, when you go from DQ2 to DQ1, you are stuck with the hero of Maidenhall. Your other party members don't come with you, which means you don't get to use any magic, but I believe you get your Maidenhall hero's stats. So even though you don't have any spells, I think the Dragon Lord is kind of a pushover with the amount of damage you can dish out.
And the last chest here in the Mountain Cave is an herb.
And HighSpirits now triggering himself the treasure chest glitch. No doubt going to be going up to that 7,000 or 8,000 he needs for magic armor.
Certainly looking to make it easier.
Oh yeah, Dragon Warrior 2, Dragon Warrior 1 time travel paradox. It would be pretty good with that guy, you know, finishing the seed with the Maidenhall hero. The Prince of Maidenhall becoming his own grandfather, or some bizarre situation like that, I suppose.
Back to the Future, Alfgard edition.
Yeah, exactly. HighSpirits finding himself Sixth Town, the town of Breckenary. Absolutely nothing of value to be found here, as HighSpirits already possesses himself the best gear in the game.
So that means there might be something of value. It's just TheAlanHeffley won't need to look for it.
Yeah, he just goes and takes a quick little nap and gonna head out and take a look at the rest of this map here.
Another restocking of herbs for HighSpirits. As we have crossed the 1 hour mark here in this seed, things moving along at a much more swimmingly pace than considerably earlier.
Yeah, it has actually gotten to the point where it's kind of hard to imagine that 15 minutes ago this seed was just looking completely unforgiving, and then, you know, just a few kills here and there, and everything's just suddenly broken completely open for our runners here.
Well, HighSpirits is going to go back into the rear of Garenham and is going to see the silver, or trade in the Silver Harp to get the Staff of Rain. As TheAlanHeffley coming up on a cave and passing it. And HighSpirits going to get to level 10.
I think that cave should be the jerk. I don't think there's anything else we haven't seen at that point. That might be why he passed it up, if he's been keeping track here. Oh, he looped around the map. I think that's the grave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of looped around the map, because I'm pretty sure you just passed by Garenham, and then yeah, he was just passing by Garen's grave as well.
HighSpirits going through a whole lot of swamp and finding a whole lot of nothing.
Annihilation Hammer in chat saying he's about 80% done remaking the DQ1 world map in free build, which I believe is Minecraft. I would love to see that. That sounds super cool.
And HighSpirits thankful to find the heal spell at level 11.
Oh, we got a Sharlock sighting. Don't think we had seen that up to this point.
And now HighSpirits dealing with the golem. Able to survive a fire attack. Oh, and Hurtmore not enough to take out the golem, and a dual Dragon Lord Breath sends HighSpirits back at the same time that Dragon Lord Breath from a Poltergeist sending TheAlanHeffley back.
Yeah, that golem took that Hurtmore on the chin and didn't even flinch.
I think I even saw the golem scoff a little bit before breathing that fire. TheAlanHeffley trekking back through the swamp cave as HighSpirits going into a cave.
HighSpirits gonna check tablet. I don't think he had seen those two caves, so it looks like he's gonna be checking tablet and the grave for the first time. Going to be a little bit disappointed to find himself a key here, but at least he has one more treasure chest checked off his list.
And able to cast outside to negate some of the damage. And is now going to head over to Cantlin.
As on TheAlanHeffley's side, Warlocks also breathing that ferocious Dragonlord fire. Silver Shield as well for HighSpirits. He actually had not been down to this corner of the map. Looking at that 10 gold Silver Shield. And question in chat, has anyone made a play for the coordinates yet? No. But just
that's going to change in about 10 seconds here.
Yeah, exactly. Just as he says that, HighSpirits hightailing it down towards this old man. And we are going to take a look here. 5 to the north and 21 to the east. It's going to be right up there in that swamp. And I think HighSpirits is going to... Looks like he's going to take himself a little bit of a nap. And I think he wants to get out of here, go to the end, and just walk up and grab it. Whatever it is, we don't know yet. Hopefully it's something good, though.
Well, it has the possibility of being one of 3 different things. It could either be Erdrick's armor, the strongest armor in the game. It could be the fairy flute, which is generally used to put golems to sleep. Or it could be Erdrick's token, one of the key items needed to get the rainbow drop to fight the Dragon Lord, to access the Dragon Lord's castle in Sharlock. And one of the other search spots is in Cole, where TheAlanHeffley is, and it's going to be the fairy flute.
So we know that this map item is going to be required.
And I think HighSpirits is going to tuck away that knowledge, but is going to go into that other cave, which we know is the grave of Garenham. Or the grave of Garen. And we've got chat noting not random enough.
HighSpirits taking advantage of the main use of the fairy flute, which is to put golems to sleep. And seeing as how we know that golems do have that Dragon Lord fire, it is definitely to his advantage to use that as much as possible here.
And HighSpirits only able to get 2 of those top 3 chests in Garenham, and HighSpirits going, well, since I'm back here at the castle anyway, time to make a count. And a lot of swamp up there in that northern area. But he finds the token. Which means that Erdrick's armor is going to be in the town of Hawksnest, guarded by an enemy. The complaints coming in on chat.
Chat immediately noticing
spot is Erdrick's token, and the fairy flute is in its search spot, which means that Erdrick's armor will be in its standard search spot. So already people going for McGrew, as well as even a complaint to Fred.
Oh, we're just... Yeah, and Ryu Session noting that the token was even on a swamp tile. Oh boy, if we have an Axe Knight in the shop spot, I may have to go check my appointments and see if I can stick around much longer.
Oh, goodness.
Game Boy F9 calling out Dig Shake and Saver. Everyone getting thrown under the bus here. As TheAlanHeffley claims level 12, learns a new spell, and finds that spell is Heal More. Very, very important spell for him to grab.
Game Boy F9 even blaming himself.
The name drop of Alexei Pajitnov going a little bit over my head.
Yeah, I'm lost on that one too.
Oh, that's what I thought. Yeah, Tetris. Yeah.
The original randomizer.
TheAlanHeffley looks like he stumbled on a cave I don't think we've seen. I think this has to be the Jerk. No, Stones of Sunlight is the other cave that we hadn't found yet. And unfortunately did not see what he got out of that chest, so if it was the big stick, we may have to wait for HighSpirits to get around to that and see what it was.
Yeah, it was a dropped frame or few, from what I'm being told.
Vanilla stones would be hilarious.
Meanwhile, HighSpirits is deep in the grave of Garen, and that's where the Stones of Sunlight are.
Alrighty, so proving that yes, this is in fact randomized. If we take a quick look at the experience here, at one point the levels and experience are pretty even, but TheAlanHeffley just kind of taking potshots at things while he wanders around has garnered himself about a 2,000 experience lead. TheAlanHeffley's experience at the University of Kentucky clearly paying off here. And Z-Man going back and confirming that it was an herb in the bonus cave, so nothing too important there.
Now, similarly, how about that fourth chest in the grave of Garen? We saw that all the way at the bottom was the Stones of Sunlight.
I believe TheAlanHeffley picked that up, and it was also an herb or a wing or something not too important.
Inconsequential.
Yeah, I don't think it was of any importance. But actually, I think TheAlanHeffley, he's choosing to go back in the grave because yeah, he doesn't have the stones, so we know he hasn't been to the bottom. So he may prove me wrong here. Maybe he did, or he did not grab that second level chest. So we might get another look at that one here in a minute. And yeah, Pyrelite noting that this pretty much confirms that the sword is in Sharlock. We've seen pretty much every single chest here, so if chat wants to start calling what chest in Sharlock they think the sword might be in.
Yeah, we've hit that point, apparently.
Ryu Station going extra cruel. Z-Man seconding him as everyone going for the vanilla chest. Oh my gosh, guys, come on, come on. Let's reel it back here. Look, I'm going bottom right. I'm going bottom right. I rolled the seed. I have faith. Bottom right.
We got Smashy with a middle left vote here. You know, I'm jotting all these down. I don't have any more room on my sheet here under where I have the vanilla listing.
Oh, and HighSpirits stumbling upon the town of Hawksness and immediately leaving, which is a little surprising. HighSpirits hasn't found Cole yet, so he doesn't know that Hawksness definitely has the armor, but might stumble upon Cole here in the upper right. I think that that's what that is.
It makes sense. If you don't necessarily have to fight a nasty enemy, why bother? And it looks like a magic key.
That's true. Ryu Station noting that HighSpirits still, I think, a couple thousand experience away from getting that Heal More spell.
That could certainly play a factor, although HighSpirits now in Cole, and upon finding the Fairy Flute, will realize, looks like I do have to go back and get the armor. And to answer the question in chat, as a few others have as well, yeah, the requirements for the next level, that is randomized as well. So you could have 42 experience to one level and then 390 to the next, and it's all over the place. I mean, I've seen single digits to get to one level and then a couple of thousand to get to another one.
And I think in that marathon seed we saw between Chitin and I forget who his opponent was, but I believe we saw like several thousand to one level, and when they finally got there, they got 3 at once. As the knight runs away on the spike tile.
Ha!
The knight ran away twice. He refuses to fight. This is great.
But HighSpirits able to get the armor nonetheless. But even with that, the knight able to take HighSpirits out.
He might have wanted to fight it regardless just because he had the armor. He might wanted to see, or he might not have seen them. Ryu wondering why HighSpirits was going in to fight that knight again. But yeah, he definitely has that information now.
So now it looks like it's a matter of the difference between exploration versus experience. So yes, TheAlanHeffley at the moment with a 1,500 experience lead, but TheAlanHeffley still looking for the Stones of Sunlight, still looking for the Silver Harp.
HighSpirits heading back into the mountain cave, as I believe he died before checking 2 of the chests here, and while he'll be happy in doing his due diligence, he will be a little bit disappointed in the results.
True, because at this point, HighSpirits at least contemplating and considering looking for where the Erdrick's sword would be, which, as we all have determined by process of elimination, is in Charlotte Castle. So HighSpirits, I don't believe having checked anywhere else, or has checked everywhere else, will be looking for the Jerk Cave as TheAlanHeffley gets the Stones of Sunlight.
Yeah, HighSpirits with a slight advantage, having already turned his harp in, but does need to find that jerk, and comes upon Breckenary and immediately leaves, not even wanting to take advantage of the cheap end. HighSpirits also having the advantage of finding the armor, as TheAlanHeffley does decide to make a play for the coordinates, and will be very happy to find that this count is very, very easy, so he will have his armor in short order.
So we are 83 minutes into this seed. Just a quick recap. The Death Necklace was actually in the Throne Room 3, the initial chest in the game. Also looking here, the Stones of Sunlight was at the deep bottom of Garen's grave. The Silver Harp was inside the Mountain Cave. And Erdrick's Token is in the Overworld Search spot. Oddly enough, in a swamp, as there was a lot of anger towards the not random enough. As pretty much anybody who created any randomizer form of a game got some semblance of blame a little bit earlier.
Every single one of them thrown under the bus. Oh, HighSpirits now with the Heal More spell as well.
I think even Tetra got blamed, and Tetra just getting into the mix with the recently, at least beta tested, as we saw here earlier on Randomania tonight, the Super Mario Bros. 2 randomizer.
Hashtag, this is why we can't have nice things.
Exactly.
HighSpirits going to go check the Swamp Cave boss, and finds himself a Wyvern, which I don't think we've seen before, and immediately starts the fight off with Sleep and Hurt More. Oh my goodness. HighSpirits trying to efficiently menu towards that stop spell, but doesn't have it. Fortunately, the game didn't let him cast Radiant in battle. And doing 1 damage! Ladies and gentlemen, we have found the troll enemy of the seed as HighSpirits miraculously gets away. Dropping that 1 damage, that thing must have had some serious agility. I'm honestly surprised he got away at all.
Definitely a jerk bird, and HighSpirits saying, sorry, Prince Grimond.
Not worth it.
Not today. Oh, yes, and for those asking in chat, and yes, confirming, is the Super Mario Bros. 2 USA version. It was derived from the Japanese game Doki Doki Panic, I believe. And another running away night for HighSpirits. TheAlanHeffley, meanwhile, back in Garanham, staying at the inn and presumably going to head into the back to trade in that silver harp for the Staff of Rain.
HighSpirits looks like he's run into a warlock for his first time. They have sleep in it, and we saw on TheAlanHeffley's side earlier. They do have that fire breath, but it looks like they're not too keen on using it, and they also run away.
I guess that's what happens when you get a little stronger.
Gantetsu, Hurtmore does work on a few enemies, but it looks like on the really, really valuable enemies, it hasn't been working out too often there. So it has dispatched a few enemies that don't give a whole lot of experience, unfortunately.
Well, now TheAlanHeffley catching up on the exploration.
Yeah, TheAlanHeffley really solidifying his lead here, and again, both runners just needing to find that jerk.
Also known as the Rainbow Drop Cave. The reason he is so affectionately known as the Jerk is because if you don't have the Erdrick's token, let alone the other 2 items, he will say that thou are not something along the lines of you're not the hero that I thought you were, be gone, and all of a sudden he kicks you out of the cave.
He kicks you all the way out. Not even the Shrine Cave guy does that. HighSpirits hoping to find that jerk and instead only finds himself a bonus cave. And with his herbs maxed out, he doesn't even get one for his trouble.
Yes, Ryu, my mouth decided to use autocorrect at that moment. Not just for phones anymore. HighSpirits, meanwhile, back in Cole, stopping at the inn.
Yeah, I haven't seen the stats on these players in a while, but it seems we're at the point now where, I mean, we know where Sharlock is. We got pretty much all the items. The only thing is just finding that jerk. That's about it. Oh, and HighSpirits
is done. And he has the armor, as noted in chat that by Pyrolite, that TheAlanHeffley still looking for Hawk's Nest and is going to have to get the Erdrick's armor from there.
So HighSpirits a little bit short on experience as we see a spark over bridge on the other side of Sharlock. Yeah, just a little bit short on experience, but Drakema's up here in these hills If he wants to stick around here, that would be my play. He can make all that experience up in short order. And I think HighSpirits is going to go for the memes here, as I think he's about to search.
Now, for those unfamiliar, a Sparkover Bridge, Sparkover, one of our runners in the Dragon Warrior community, noted for searching. A Sparkover Bridge is a bridge that leads to one, or in this case, two tiles of land, and there's essentially a compulsion to search in that area in the hopes that it is the overworld search spot. Granted, the odds of that are about as likely as winning Powerball and Mega Millions in the same week. But nonetheless, people still look for it.
Even people who've already found the overworld item, in this case.
Exactly.
Hashtag do it for the memes. Yes, Nemo234. He's saying that, you know, like everything else, there is a chance. I believe the map is 120 by 120, so feel free to do the math on that one. But don't forget to factor in the fact that there's no guarantee that there's a world map search spot at all. Oh yeah, Pyrelight noting that, yes, there was a seed in which the search spot, I don't know if it was on Garanham specifically, but it was on top of a town, so you actually had to walk into the town, walk out, and then search the spot.
And HighSpirits pretty much going around and grinding at this point.
I'm a little surprised he didn't choose to stay in those mountainside Drakey mods. I haven't seen anything that was easier to kill and gave more experience yet. But there is potential, because we do have one more spike tile boss that we haven't seen yet. And HighSpirits may want to go see what that is. Question in chat, what are conditions for there not being an overworld search spot? Conditions basically are the flute and the token can appear in a chest. And if they're in a chest, they're not going to be in a search spot. So if one or both of those items appear in chests, and then the armor cannot appear in a chest, so if that item is in either Hawksness or Coal, then there would be nothing on the world map. And you can find that information from the old man. The old man would, in that case, say, "Thou must go and fight," and not give you any numbers, and at that point you would know that there is no spot on the world map.
And the wolf still being a jerk, 90 plus minutes into this seed. Wolf and Lord Breath at this point. And since it was brought up in chat and I took a moment to type it in, I guess I'll explain how the tournament is working here as we're going along. This is among the first, or this is one of 11 of the first round Swiss style matches. They'll be going on over the next few days. Starting this Wednesday, we'll get into round 2 based on those who have won. Those who have a 1-0 record will face each other and vice versa. I believe there's one random pair that there will be a 1-0 against an 0-1. But over the span of 3 rounds of this Swiss style tournament, those who have a 2-1 record or better will move on to the bracket part of the tournament, and that will be a single elimination tournament, and that's where the official seeding will come into play.
JLo marking that another DL2 breath coming out of Axe Knights on TheAlanHeffley's screen as on HighSpirits' screen. Another Dragon Lord 2 breath coming from Red Slimes. Oh my goodness.
That is now 8 different enemies with Dragon Lord 2 Breath. So I guess in that regard, to answer the question from WMD, I guess that's a pretty solid yes. As we've noted, as far as Dragon Lord 2 Breath, the Golems, the Wolves, the Poltergeists, the Metal Scorpions, the Knights, the Warlocks, the Axe Knights, and the Red Slimes have all had DL2 Breath. And yes, 2 of them are in Sharlock, as HighSpirits is entering Sharlock. I think I got them all right. Okay, yeah, Ryu double-checking me here on that. It's like trying to name the 7 dwarves. As you're thinking of them, you tend to forget one. Oh, wow. And HighSpirits not even making it out of the first level of Sharlock, as those nasty wyverns are in there as well, with that dreaded combination of sleep and hurt more. Well, as you see there in chat, to check out the tournament standings thus far, the link is up there on chat, as well as the upcoming schedule. The randomizer link is on there as well to be able to play some of this fun yourself. Maybe not necessarily this seed, but to be able to give this a go yourself. And you can also join the Discord, where there are a number of folks who love to get in on these races, even in a more casual stint. And, of course, don't forget to make sure to follow both of our runners here, HighSpirits and TheAlanHeffley. And wow, Axe Knight's giving the maximum amount of experience, 255. And with that, that's going to get another level for TheAlanHeffley, up to level 15. Meanwhile, HighSpirits at level 13. And at this point, only about an 850 experience difference between the two. HighSpirits starting to catch up. TheAlanHeffley smacking around some enemies as he's looking around for the Rainbow Drop Cave.
Z-Man telling me I'm not going to get a break between races, but man, when you're commentating Dragon Warrior Randomizer, it's just, we're on 90 minutes of break here as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, because we're commentating instead of running these things?
No, I just love Dragon Warrior Randomizer, man.
Oh, well. HighSpirits is Smashy noting in chat that wyverns are clear sleep and run targets. Oof, and another DL2 breath from a red slime. But you can see with the with the expenditure of the MP being used by HighSpirits, this is definitely not going to be the attempt to go after the Dragon Lord. At this point, it's just trying to get to that treasury to see if HighSpirits can acquire Erdrick's sword. But yeah, those wyverns are vicious.
A little bit of a recon mission here for HighSpirits. I don't blame him. He's trying out sleep and might try out stop spell, might try out just a little bit of he doesn't have stop spell yet, my bad. But he's trying a little bit of everything here just to get some information so that when he does, when he feels like he's ready, he wants to be able to get down here as quickly as possible as Golem runs away from him here. And yeah, Z-Man reminding us that the sword is here somewhere in Sharlock. And a lot of you guys in chat calling that vanilla spot, wanting to make life just a little bit harder for these poor runners. But I rolled the seed, and I'm telling you guys, it's bottom right. All right, that first chest out the door. That's gonna be it. TheAlanHeffley does find himself the town of Hawksnest, so probably going to make short work of the boss here if it doesn't run away from him first. Going to get himself that token, or sorry, not the token, but the armor. And then I believe close by is the Jerk Cave, so he can have it all right here if he wants it.
Will TheAlanHeffley have the same fortune that HighSpirits did in that the knight had run away? Well, no, but oh man, 17 experience and 5 gold. It's almost like going through the effort to defeat the golem in the vanilla version of this game.
Yeah, I would just
vanilla Dragon Warrior, not vanilla Dragon Warrior, yeah, as opposed to the standard randomizer.
Yeah, I would just give it all back at that point. It's not been worth it. As TheAlanHeffley, I believe he just needs to go a little bit more east. It's going to be somewhere in this desert, I think, is where the Jerk is. There it is.
Oh, and now the wolves getting smacked around. 156 experience. So this is interesting. With a about 1,370 experience lead, TheAlanHeffley has everything needed to go into Sharlock. And
140
power of
attack
140, and that's with the flame sword. So if and or when he is able to find Erdrick's sword, you'd add another 12 to that to bring it up to 152, which would mean doing damage on Dragonlord 2 of anywhere from 13 to 26 per strike. But will it be too little too late? As HighSpirits is already on that lower level, can he get to the sword?
Can't handle this chat right now.
Which is why I'm handling the commentary. The Wolf Lord being put to sleep and HighSpirits running away. So now we'll get to see here. I'm thinking middle right, but we've got fairy water. We've got a torch. Another torch.
Every time you grab one, the odds get lower.
Dragon scale.
Down to a 50-50.
Uh-oh. Either I'm right or a bunch of other people are right here.
Oh!
Sword! Sword get in the middle right chest in the treasury.
No vanilla sword this time, guys. And now HighSpirits gonna go check that boss real quick, and if he dispatches the boss, he may want to take a couple of swings at DL1 just to see whether or not he's a Paper Tiger in this one.
It's amazing. We have seen some of the Paper Tiger Dragonlord 1s, and then we've seen some that have been outright brutal. Melee attacking in some cases for upwards of 70 or 80 hit points. High Spirits making his way around, looking mostly for information at this point, as there's no way with six magic points left, now 4, with no ability to heal. Yeah, no more heal mores. There's no way that the Dragon Lord fight's going to be coming this time to a conclusion, so there is still an opportunity for the TheAlanHeffley to venture into Sharlock. This is still extremely close. But High Spirits not quite going to get there as the red slime breathing that Dragon Lord 2 breath. So that COD's up to about 1,038,000, right?
I'd say 1,038,000's right. It's slowed down a bit in the last hour.
Kaiten, I certainly hope not. Oh.
Reusation denied by the bot. Spirit Cowie laying the smackdown.
Spirit Cowie with the negata. High Spirits, meanwhile, getting to level 14. And getting heal more. 145 with the sword. That's going to be an attack range of... oh, goodness, of 11 to 22.
7 more power coming out of TheAlanHeffley here for level 16. Nothing to sneeze at there. And his HP and MP are already high, continue to grow as well.
Well, now 152 for High Spirits as he gets up to level 15. He's doing the calculations. It's a 13 to 26 attack range. Sprinkling the fairy water. I think it may be time for a stay at the inn and a trek into Sharlock for go.
And I think TheAlanHeffley is going to be doing the same thing here as well. What with his 130 HP and 111 MP, it's going to be about, I believe, 13 heal mores for him, with plenty to spare for Repel and Radiant should he want to use those.
But then we have not had either of our runners yet get to the Dragon Lord, and that is a factor that can completely turn things upside down.
It's true, and TheAlanHeffley, I believe, being at level 16, should have access to all spells. I don't know if High Spirits has access to Stop Spell yet, which could be very important here.
In looking at the spell listing, High Spirits does have Stop Spell. The only spell that is missing and is acquired at level 16 is the Repel spell. Which TheAlanHeffley using at the moment, but...
I think TheAlanHeffley may have forgotten where Sharlock is. I hope not, but I think... I'm not sure what else he'd be looking for.
I think that may be the case, as he saw Sharlock from the opposite side, not too far from that aforementioned Sparkover bridge. But since it looked to have been on the other continent, now TheAlanHeffley having a little trouble navigating to where Sharlock Castle is, and that's giving High Spirits the chance to dash through Sharlock.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the way this map sprawls to the north, I believe he just needs to go a little bit south of Cantlin. I do believe that's where it is. He does cast the return spell, so I imagine he's gonna figure out... Oh no, he's going through the swamp now, I think. Popping back into Tantagel, probably to get his MP back here from the old man.
Wolf Lord, meanwhile, given a little bit of trouble not letting High Spirits get away. and ultimately HighSpirits casting Sleep to be able to run away.
Again, in Chaos, never, ever, ever discount that sleep spell. And yeah, and very unfortunate from TheAlanHeffley, going every which way except for the way that he needs to go. But if HighSpirits is met with a little bit of unfortunate luck here, it still could be a nail-biter between these two.
Oh, and the Rogue Scorpion running away from HighSpirits. Already on the 5th level of Sharlock, making it down to 6 now. And bottom floor, Dragon Lord. And not taking any chances with the Wyvern, just putting him to sleep and running away. RLH, the strategy here. TheAlanHeffley, meanwhile, making his way through the swamp cave. HighSpirits, meanwhile, putting the Wolf Lord to sleep. Running, utilizing an herb, and the boss is going to be a knight. We know
Another knight. Amazing.
Who we know has the Dragon Lord breath and is not afraid to use it. And HighSpirits is going to have to use a hit more, and then he runs away. Wow.
Speaking of being not afraid.
Pulling a bravely brave Sir Robin, and that allows HighSpirits to get in and be declared a fool.
Oh, get punted.
One-shotting Dragon Lord 1. Oh, but a snipe attack with fire.
That's going to take one of 2 potential attacks away as we get a big 16 roll to start things off. Oh, and we have Sleep. Sleep is confirmed.
HighSpirits getting slept and getting wrecked by Dragon Lord 2.
Slept and wrecked is right. Absolutely bodied. As Spirit Cowie even dropping the not like Jess.
And even
Taylor, you better clip
giving
that for us.
A failing grade to this seed.
TheAlanHeffley having a real hard time figuring out how to get the Sharlock here. They both have seen it. He just unfortunately has forgotten that all he needs to do is just walk a little bit south to start and he'll be there.
HighSpirits, meanwhile, looking to grind a little bit.
Almacia noting that Dragon Lord telling our poor runners to sleep forever. No princess rescues here also, so no easy way for HighSpirits to check his experience. Don't think he's terribly far away from 16, but we have no idea how far from 16 to 17 might be.
True. HighSpirits was informed of the short trek to level 16 after that sleep wreck from Dragon Lord 2. But now High Spirits on grind mode as the TheAlanHeffley utilizing Repel to try to find how to get into the front of Sharlock. And that's allowing High Spirits to quickly come back and negate the experience advantage that the TheAlanHeffley has had for a majority of this race. As it's now roughly a little over 600, maybe 650 experience at the moment.
Yeah, real unfortunate here from TheAlanHeffley, as no guarantees he could be having any better luck than High Spirits and Sharlock, but he's got to find it first. He does get himself another level here. Was not able to see the strength gains. Everything else looking a little mediocre there.
Level 17 statistics a little bit lackluster. But still 7 more strength. High Spirits getting to level 16. And is sprinkling the fairy water. He's going to go into town here into Cantlin. 159 attack.
My goodness. Potential to hit for 30 on that Dragon Lord 2.
29. But still, 14 to 29. I'm trying to do the math in my head on this. As the Seawolf said earlier, math is hard.
Never do math while you're live. Golden rule of broadcasting. At least that's what I heard.
I've been broadcasting for almost 10 years. I haven't heard that, but hey, you learn something new every day.
Oh goodness, High Spirits coming back into Sharlock here and getting met by sleep as the TheAlanHeffley does find the front door to Sharlock, and that means, folks, at this point, TheAlanHeffley lacking a little bit of knowledge in terms of what he can sleep and what he can't, what he can run from and what he can't, but otherwise, this is neck and neck.
It is a veritable foot race. High Spirits with the knowledge advantage, realizing that Dragon Lord 2 has the sleep spell. The TheAlanHeffley with the slight experience advantage and 1 level up on High Spirits. But that may be negated with a couple of enemy kills, but I don't think High Spirits is going there. I think he's just going to run away as much as possible. And as we close in on the 2-hour mark, this is as close can be.
Oh, that's right. And McGrew noting that TheAlanHeffley is not at full MP and also does not have the sword.
That's right. A lot of magic being cast to utilize Repel to navigate pretty much all across the land. Oh, and a sleep wreck from a wyvern.
TheAlanHeffley getting kicked out of Sharlock almost as soon as he walked in.
And only 125. Okay, so only 94.29. That is the number to get to level 18. That math I could do while live. And one enemy gets there, but wow, no strength, 1 response speed.
Those 10 hit points, though, I do believe brings him up to about 140, which is a a pretty significant number if you're looking for it. Yeah, 141, very significant if you're looking for extra attacks on the Dragon Lord. Makes it almost impossible to overheal with the Heal More spell. 140, a really, really important number to hit here for these two runners.
Well, and then you have to factor in, I guess, with as much power as they both have, do you even consider the Death Necklace now that you're over the 130 hit point mark, or do you just keep the high hit points and just go in and try to wreck and try not to get slept?
Yeah, knowing that he's got sleep, I'm just throwing out stop spells at the beginning and then letting that 140 HP just allow me to kind of coast to victory. That's what I would do.
The TAH getting a little bit of misfortune in terms of encounters. And McGrew noting in chat that using the Death Necklace with Dragonlord 2 having sleep, understandable, but that is information that TAH doesn't know.
TK Wizard asking if you can stop spell Dragonlord 2. Yes, you can do that. However, his stop spell resistance is random. It can be anywhere from 3 out of 16 to resist, or 15 out of 16 to resist. So yes, stop spell a viable and pretty much necessary option for our runners.
Well, if it's on the high end of that, if it's 15 out of 16, I know people were joking about it earlier, but we may be looking into the closer end of 2.5 to 3 hours on this seed.
Yeah, Death Necklace at this point would only increase their high end from it's going to increase their high end from 30 to 40, but the average is only going to go up by about 5 on the high end. So yeah, I don't think that extra damage is worth losing all that HP, because that HP is basically at this point it's enough. What the Death Necklace takes away from you, that's an extra turn for you to wake up from sleep if you do get put to sleep before landing the stop spell. HighSpirits now down to 10 heal mores as he rounds this third corner, trying to get back to this Dragonlord fight.
TAH up to level 18.
I did not see what stats he gained there. Rogue Scorpion still giving our runners a hard time even at this advanced level.
And now HighSpirits using an herb before approaching the knight. And the Knigget runs away.
Apparently, battling this level 16 hero was above his pay grade. Dragonlord confirmed to not necessarily go down in one hit, as we see a low roll out of HighSpirits here. And the first stop spell doing nothing, unfortunately.
And missing twice now. Oh, and another sleep. A breathing of fire. Is he going to wake up? No, he isn't. And HighSpirits is going to go down again to the Dragonlord.
3 missed sleeps. It is looking like either HighSpirits' luck is incredibly poor or that resistance is really high, as TheAlanHeffley does make it down to this final floor and is going to be looking for a sword for himself here. Pause 82.
Yeah, you were answering the same question that I was here. It can be anywhere in between 3 out of 16 to 15 out of 16. It's not one or the other. So it can be anywhere along the way of there in terms of stop spell resistance.
Z-Man taking advantage of not being in the commentator's seat and getting a little bit graphic in chat here, but I don't disagree with him.
HighSpirits, meanwhile, advancing another level as TAH searching the treasury. Running into a knight. And looks with that additional level to want to stay at the inn and give it another go. This is definitely chaotic.
And now that TheAlanHeffley has a sword for himself, it's about 20 minutes between sword pickups for our players. And TheAlanHeffley also, for his trouble, is going to be sent right back to start as HighSpirits goes for his, I believe, his 3rd or maybe 4th dive now.
On the bright side, as noted in chat, TAH getting the sword before getting sent back, and it looks like the cap, as far as the levels, pending some sort of disaster, is going to be level 18, as it's going to be almost another 7,000 experience for TAH to get from level 18 to level 19.
Ryusation and Almatia's their chats popped up at the same time for me. I thought someone said the Orb of Winning, which would have been a very apropos name.
I think that may have just created a new meme. But that does give you an idea as far as the level advancement chaos, or the chaotic element of level advancement, as going from level 18 to level 19, a 7,286 differential. As HighSpirits may not realize or may not be concerned with it only being about 100 and change experience away from level 18, and just wants to get down there as intact as possible. Although some of the enemies that he may look to at least one shot to try to get that additional level, like a red slime, looks to be running away. And HighSpirits using a sleep on a Wolf Lord. Oh, and a Dragon Lord 2 breath from a red slime, trying to run not once but twice, and 2 DL2 breaths, and HighSpirits contemplating, do I try to run away again? Oh, and he uses an herb, and the red slime runs away. And now another casting of sleep and just 12 heal mores for HighSpirits now with exactly 96 MP. And TAH using the Fairy Flute to put the Golem to sleep. Not opting to heal after that onslaught by the Golem. TAH trying to get down there, has not yet met the Dragon Lord and all of the elements along with him. HighSpirits now trying to make attempt number 3 at the Dragon Lord.
I can't wait to get these guys into chat and tell them that they were bashing their heads against Sharlock at the same time this entire time. I don't think either of them could be imagining how close this has been.
Well, from what I've been told, I think that interview may have to come in the Discord chat off of broadcast, as because this has run so long, we're bumping up against the other race that is supposed to be on this channel, the third of our triple header that was technically supposed to start 17 minutes ago, but is pending the end of this one between Jake Hoper and Zarnax42. That's still to come, but we still have to get through this here. As stop spells still not sticking, and HighSpirits giving up on it and attacking, and 27 damage off the bat.
Playing it a little extra safe there too, healing on 51 because he decided to attack, not wanting to risk getting slept on the next turn, wanting to be as high health as he can just in case that happens.
Well, these are some rather high attack totals. Oh, and there's sleep. How long will it last? Oh, only one turn.
Oh, and actually going for it on 55 as well. He's got to be up to about 150. I wasn't really keeping track here, but my goodness, he just pounding away.
Oh, and another sleep. Still asleep. Attack for 29, and
oh no! So I would say
HighSpirits falling again.
At least 150 HP on that Dragon Lord too. My goodness. So TheAlanHeffley now is
161. I just did the. I was writing down the numbers, but wasn't trying to add them as we were going along because there was so much going on. But taking that brief respite there, 161 was what HighSpirits had accrued in those 6 attacks.
6 attacks. That is just nutty to hear.
Well, and it just went up another level.
TheAlanHeffley going to get his shot to make this madness come to a close.
Yeah, the 6 attacks for HighSpirits, 27, 31, 26, 31, 21, and 25.
And what's the Powerball?
8? I don't know. Another instay for HighSpirits, and a knight giving trouble here to TAH and just spamming fire.
Oh, and a Kaishin no Ichigeki.
That smashes the knight into 109 pieces. Oh, McGrew, you win with the response there. What the Powerball is the Powerball of light. And that's why he created this madness, folks.
And yet another knight to contend with here, and not being able to tank the fire breath, not wanting to. Oh, he's going to take the risk here Oh, he throws out the Hurt More instead and does manage to take that knight out. Now going into this fight here shortly with 11 Heal Mores. We'll see what the TheAlanHeffley can pull out here.
And noting in chat that HighSpirits may just forget the stop spell strategy, perhaps the resistance being too high, and just given the attack that he has and realizing it just for the 6 attacks that there were, if he can just avoid sleep and avoid being slept for long enough.
TheAlanHeffley getting the bad news here, but does manage to wake up on the first try. Oh, I think he put the death necklace on. He just healed more and went up to 98. I think he put the death necklace on.
Oh, see, I did mention he had no idea about the sleep. Oh, and able to awake with 6 HP, casting Heal More. This is going to make the number of attacks difficult here as he gets a low roll of 18 and gets slept again. And gets wrecked. So now that opens the door back up for HighSpirits. As we know, nobody is going to be grinding up to level 19. At least I certainly hope not. And Almacia, that may be truer than you realize at this point.
Yeah, we'll see if HighSpirits truly is giving up on the stop spell strats, and it's going to be up to TheAlanHeffley here. Probably going to try it on his second attempt, not knowing how high that resist is. We'll see if he can land that potential 1 in 16 to try to finish this off here.
Well, we don't know for certain how high it is. We know that it's pretty doggone high, as nobody's been able to land it as of yet. Now, TAH opting to melee some of these enemies as opposed to running away. HighSpirits opting for the sleep run technique on some of them. And TAH learning why maybe a sleep run technique on a Wyvern might not be a bad idea, but able to wake up and strike him down.
Omega Fulf saying that these runners are going to use Dragonlord 2 Breath on the seed as they drop it in the trash bin after this match, and I wouldn't blame them one bit. I would not blame them one bit. HighSpirits rounding the second corner of the final floor here. I think he had about 97 MP left there. We'll see here in a minute.
Yep, 97.
So still just barely hanging on to 12 heal mores here. HighSpirits taking that Dragonlord 2 Breath on the chin and just about dispatches the Knight, but the Knight manages to limp away. And gonna eat a couple herbs here, get himself up to full, and be called a fool here for, I believe, the 4th time.
Ooh, 76 and a one shot from HighSpirits to take care of Dragonlord 1.
completely abandoning stop spell.
Well, already up to 42. But there's the sleep. And he's going to go with heal more just to make sure. Another 16. Puts it up to 58. And another sleep. And waking up with 10 hit points left is HighSpirits. Another 23. That's going to put it to 81. And another sleep from the Dragon Lord. That only lasts for one turn. Another 20. It's going to put it up to 101. Meanwhile, a Hurtmore takes out TheAlanHeffley. Another 18 brings it up to a $119. But now 2 rounds of sleep.
Oh, he woke up?
Oh, wow. The awake RNG is real. Oh, and another 23. It's going to put it up to 142.
Full HP sleep. He's got a good chance.
And he wakes back up. Another 18. It's up to 160. 189.
Oh my goodness. He did it!
And 32
He
will
did
do
it!
For 211, or 221, excuse me. I forgot to carry a 1. But HighSpirits has slain the Dragon Lord finally here in this marathon of a match. Get out your GGs for HighSpirits, who is going to finish finally with an SRL official time of 2 hours, 21 minutes, and 51 seconds. Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Didn't bother with stop spell, just continued to melee on and melee on. It took 10 attacks to do so.
And a lot of first turn wake ups. So HighSpirits will move on to 1-0, and TheAlanHeffley looks like he is going to play this out, but will be going to 0-1 for this first round of our Swiss style tournament. Oh, and I think HighSpirits is here with us.
Where to get started on that one?
I'll go ahead and take the blame. I believe someone here in this commentary booth rolled the seed.
Well, I almost got a level off of Ghost before I finally found a green dragon.
Yeah, that was really the thing to get. TheAlanHeffley actually did get one a little bit before you, but he got one and got up to level 4 really quickly, but wasn't able to really make much else happen. He did a lot more exploring while you were picking off those ghosts, so you had a slight experience lead because of that.
Yeah, I noticed, like, I never found any of the dragons until like so late, so I thought ghosts were my only option to farm for 4 experience. So I was trying to do a gold grind to get the flame sword, but I just couldn't make it to Rimmildar anytime.
Yeah, it was brutal, man. You guys both made it to Rimmildar really early on at the beginning of the seed, but it just seemed like as soon as you were trying to go there with some sort of intent, it just was not happening.
Yeah, but I figured that, I wasn't the only one struggling at that start because there wasn't a whole lot of options until I found the green dragon. I'm like, I'm going to find more of them, and I couldn't find any more. I don't think I saw another green dragon the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly about getting multiple green dragons, but interestingly enough, as brutal as the early start was, and as brutal as the rest of the seed was, you guys were honestly neck and neck for most of it. I want to say you got your first kills around 6 minutes. You both got green dragons within a few minutes of each other, and then everything else, I mean, it was a bit of a slog until about 45 minutes, and that's when it really broke open. But yeah, it really just neck and neck for you guys throughout most of the seed.
Yeah, when I switched it over here, I saw Zarnak say no stop spell on the Dragon Lord. That's because I couldn't hit it. Then I'm like, I have 166 attack power. I'm gonna take my chances.
Yeah, I honestly don't blame you. I mean, you definitely tried. I want to say you failed at least six stop spells on 2 different attempts. So yeah, I don't blame you at all for making that choice. And Norestra is announcing in chat that we're not going to be able to watch TH finish on stream because we do need to move into Jay Coper versus Zarnax here after a brief pause.
Oh wow, Dragon Lord's resistance was 14 out of 16. Yeah.
Oh man.
I almost thought about putting the death necklace on just so I could do more damage to him. But I'm like, I'm gonna need the extra help because I'm just praying that I stay awake. And that last attempt, he decided to spam sleep spell. I'm like, the first couple attempts is okay. He's not using it much. It's like 25%. So like this attempt, I'm just going all out, and and then he started casting it every other turn. I was like, no.
But you kept waking up. I don't think you stayed asleep for maybe it was maybe twice you stayed asleep for more than one turn, but the majority of those were first turn wake ups, which really helped turn things in your favor.
Yeah, there was one that was scary. That was one that got really scary, but I'm glad I woke up when I was in the red. But yeah, the rest of the time, that luck. But I was doing so bad on damage rolls. I was rolling high 20s and 30s the last attempt, and like this attempt, I was rolling 17 and 18 every time. I was like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, there were a few minimum rolls in there. That is definitely the case. Very unfortunate there, but fortunate in the end anyway.
Yeah, you did have some, I was going to say, your first time going at it, your lowest roll was 21, whereas this time around, your lowest roll was a 16, and you had 4 of your 10 attacks were in the teens. Now, I'm being told that we are going to have to end this here. As much as we'd love to keep this going, we have another race that is coming up next here. So for more post-match reaction and to hear what TheAlanHeffley has to say about this, including what may be a little bit not safe for stream, you can check out our Discord chat. The Randroid has it up on the screen there. Be sure to give our runners a follow here, our Victor HighSpirits and our runner-up, TheAlanHeffley. Also, thanks to our restreamer, JLo7, our tracker, Reusation, and for my broadcast partner, Lavkian, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. Stay tuned. Coming up in just a few minutes, we have Jay Coper versus Zarnax 42 here on Randomania.